Hello everybody, welcome back to That's Football. It's the 3pms and we're live for all the action and all the chat here on That's Football. Featured Newcastle against Wolves, Volta debut, but also I'm sure we're going to get lots of twists and turns. And our first 3pm watch-along of the season. You're very welcome. A whole host of games you can see on the screen there. Everton, Villa. Can Villa get their first win of the season against a very good Everton side, which obviously Grealish used to be at Villa. He's just won Premier League Player of the Month. And also we've got interesting games, Palace, Sunderland, Fulham, Leeds, but Newcastle looking to get off to winning start as well. They've not won a game this season yet either. We're hot on the heels of an Arsenal 3-0 win, which we were live for before. So make sure you share the video, get involved. If you're one of my Bundesliga crew, obviously the home of Bundesliga on YouTube is That's Football. We were live last night with the Leverkusen against Frankfurt game, 3-1 to Leverkusen. Cologne, newly promoted from Bundesliga 2, are going 3 from 3 at the moment. They are 1-0 up at the moment. The game's been interrupted for some reason. I don't know why. But they are, if they win, they would be maximum points, newly promoted side, which is an incredible story in itself. So, yeah, I hope you're looking forward to these. Predictions, Mark. In relation to the 3 o'clocks, I have to adhere to my predictions game I play with Robbie every Friday, win, lose or draw. So I've gone with a Brighton draw at Bournemouth. I've gone with a Palace win at home to Sunderland. I've gone with a Villa win at Everton, which is quite interesting. Fulham to beat Leeds, Newcastle to beat Wolves. So that's my 5 from 5 at 3 o'clock. Jay says, who's your favourite Newcastle player? I'm very excited to watch Volta. The interesting thing with the Bundesliga deal that we're doing this year is we saw in the summer the volume of players that signed from the Bundesliga, from Wirtz to Frimpong to Šeško at Manchester United. Volta at Stuttgart was heavily linked to Bayern Munich, and his nickname was Volta Messi. So I was very interested to see what he was all about at Stuttgart, and then Newcastle went and finally bought their striker, and it's him. So I haven't really seen much of this lad. So I'm very excited to see what he's all about. Yeah, he's got the old Rudi Voller hairstyle, and let's see what he's all about. He's meant to be very tall, but very technical. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. Obviously, they haven't got Anthony Gordon today. They don't have Wizard either. A few injury problems. But, look, let's see what Wolves are all about as well. They've had a bad start to the season. Maybe people are writing them off. But I do feel that Newcastle's start to the season was strange. 2 points from 9. I think, realistically, they could have had a lot more. But you get what you deserve, I suppose, in football, don't you? And they didn't go into the season with a striker, and I think that left them a little bit short, if I'm being completely honest. So, yeah. But I would expect them to win here today. It would be a real shock. I mean, having said that, we did see Bournemouth beat Spurs before the international break at Spurs, so who knows? But I think we've all learnt our lesson with Newcastle. They're a very, very, very tough proposition at the Etihad, at St James's Park, not the Etihad. 4,000 legends already. Make sure you subscribe and get involved with That's Football. And I tell you what, Wolves nearly scored straight away. They were in with a great, I don't know what happened. Straight from the kickoff, Wolves had a great, great chance. Just a long diagonal, and I think Newcastle is sleeping. Cuts inside and probably should have scored. I don't know who that was for Wolves. Number 21. Well, you've almost got to say it was almost too early a chance. And another good chance there, and that'll go for another corner. So a progressive start from Wolves here. We might be writing them off. Rodrigo Gomez, I think it was, with the shot. And then another good save from Pope. This time from Hwang Hee-chan. So an interesting start there from Wolves. They've started off well. You could put a scoreboard of the other scores on the scroller. That's a good idea, A2. I can't really do it now, though. So Wolves starting off very energetically here. You don't want to get caught sleeping after the international break, do you? Yeah, that's going around there. Lovely. Thank you very much. Let's go Volta Messi, says Finn. Well, they've had a bit of a difficult start here, Newcastle. Everybody else has kicked off, yes. I just have a little look around the grounds. Championship, a few interesting games going on there. Coventry, Norwich, they've had a good start to the season in the Championship. Birmingham are at Stoke. They've had a very good start as well. Wrexham host QPR. As I said, we are obviously very big. Dortmund are 2-0 up against Heidenheim. 2 very quick goals. 33. I think they've literally. I don't know who scored for Dortmund, by the way. Heidenheim are down to 10 men in the 22nd minute, and Dortmund have scored 2 goals very, very quickly. It's Garassi again, who I think is now literally banging goals in for fun in the Bundesliga. I think he's top scorer now. I don't know whether he got the second goal. We will tell you that in a moment. But Dortmund have scored 2 without reply. They are 2-0 up. Stuttgart are beating Freiburg. And Cologne against Wolfsburg has been interrupted for some reason. I'm going to have a quick look what's going on there. I don't know whether it's weather. Might be weather. Who knows? Yeah, I'll give you that Dortmund second goal as soon as I know who scored it. Oh no, it says 1-0 there. I think they've made a mistake. It's because of the FA Cup. There's too many games. Get rid of that. No one wants to see that. Get me back in the Prem. There we go. So Newcastle just settling into this game a little bit better now. Wolves have had a good start. Can they feed Volta Messi? Well, here he is. Lays it off. Oh, good shot there as well. I'll tell you what, it's a very good start to the game, this. Jacob Murphy with a shot there. Much better game than Arsenal Forest, this, in the first few minutes. Both teams playing progressive football. It makes a big difference, doesn't it? Wolves going up in the world, prime time with Mark on a Saturday, says Matthew Paul. OHS Productions, I'm putting you in a timeout for 24 hours. You're boring me with that question. I don't want to do it. And you're just spamming the chat. Let me just sort that out as well. Wood or Voltameda for the FPL, says Aaron. I'm actually just going to be very nice to this brilliant community and say the community can decide. I know what I would do. I mean, Wood's got ridiculous conversion rates, hasn't he? But how long is he going to be the guy? How long is he going to be the guy in that team? I don't know. Nice to see Joel Linton back for Newcastle as well. I mean, I really thought when he went off against Newcastle, he was going to be out for a while. So that's a real boost for them because that looked like it could be a long, long delay. Newcastle need to win today. Champions League game on Thursday against Barcelona. We'll be live for that. I cannot wait for Wednesday and Thursday night in the Champions League. I think Tuesday's a bit meh. I might have a night off, but Wednesday, Chelsea against Bayern, Liverpool against Atletico Madrid, Thursday, Newcastle, Barcelona, Man City, Napoli. I think we've got some brilliant games Wednesday, Thursday. Bit of a late tackle on Bruno G there. It's certainly not a red card for me, that. Just an attempt to win the ball. It'd be harsh to give him a yellow, I think. And he has given him a yellow. This referee is shit. What's his name? What's this referee's name? I think that's a harsh yellow, that. It's not Kalina. Kavanagh, that's his name. Yeah. He's crap. He always looks like he's panicking. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my job. Which actually, in light of the news this week, sort of, you know, resonates more than you might know if you know the origins of that clip and the certain stories about a certain ex-Premier League referee. Anthony Gordon. Just while there's a break in the play here, Bruno G's gone down injured. No goals in the Premier League at the moment. Bristol City have just gone 1-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. And Cologne and Wolfsburg have started up again. They had a 10-minute interruption. Cologne winning 1-0 at Wolfsburg. They're going for 9 from 9. I don't want to confuse any German people who go, why is he saying they're going for no from no? No, 9 points from 9 is what they're going for, newly promoted. Bayern play at .5 against Hamburg. Should be a straightforward win, that. But Dortmund are looking good this season. 1-0 up against Heidenheim. They're nearly 9 from 9. They were 3-1 up against St. Pauli and blew it at the end. But there we go. Jem says, disgusting scumbag. Don't know what she's talking about. Wolfsburg have got Eriksson now. I don't know whether he's actually starting. We've got a penalty in the Villa game. I'm hearing. I don't know whether that's confirmed because I'm not getting anything. Barnsley are beating Reading 1-0. I've got no update on the Villa game. No penalty. No penalty. Harvey Barnes into Joel Linton. Cuts it back. Good defending by Wolves. No penalty, says Joy. How come you're doing this over the Villa game? I just want to watch Voltemeda. What are your Champions League predictions, says Callum? I'm actually going to do that on Goldbridge Hot Takes this week. Who did I predict to win the Champions League this year? I think I predicted Liverpool, didn't I? I think I did. Thanks for your super chat, Callum. Please share the video, by the way, and make sure you subscribe. The Home of Football. I tell you what, I like that jacket, Brad. It's a very nice jacket, Brad. Or as I would call it, a shacket. Good tackle in the box there on Wolves. Striker. They've got high hopes for this striker, Wolves, haven't they? And I tell you what, they've had another good chance there. Rodrigo. Is it Rodrigo Gomez? Newcastle looking a little bit sloppy at the back. Competition in this Premier League, you know. It's there. 2 good chances. Gomez. Tolu Arakadare. He's 24 and they brought him in from Genk. He got 35 goals in 94 games for Genk. I'm just going to call him Tolu, but his full name is Tolu Arakadare. He has 5 caps for Nigeria and 2 goals. He's prolific. He could be terrific. Yeah, he's 35 goals in 95 games for Genk. is impressive. Can he do it in the Prem? We're going to call him Tolu. Eddie Howe hasn't won a single game yet, and he's playing a back five against Wolves at home, says Tanish. Well, it's not particularly working particularly well at the moment. No goals in any of the Premier League games at the moment. Remember, we've got Bournemouth, Brighton, Crystal Palace, Sunderland, Everton, Villa, Fulham, Leeds, Newcastle, Wolves. Love this. Just think, last Saturday, no football at all, international break. Here we are, 5 Premier League 3 p.m. kickoffs. And Wolves have started off very well here, but no goals in any of the Premier League games so far. Let's have a quick look in the Championship. Only 1 goal there, Bristol. Long throw by Newcastle. Oh, it's found its way through. What a save! What a save on the back post. It should have been 1-0 to Wolves. Jacob Murphy won't believe it. Long throw in. Found its way to the back post. And it's a tap-in on the back post. And somehow Sam Johnston finds a way of saving it. It's a great chance. You've got to score those. Goes through. It's a flick on by Joel Linton. It finds its way through all the players. And somehow Johnston, a la Sells in the first few minutes for Arsenal Forest earlier on, has made a very big save there. But it should have been 1-0. Should have been 1-0. Good save, Johnston, though. Thank you, Tanish, for your super chat. Look, I think there is I think when you look at the... I don't know whether I've got it. I mean, I have got it. Yeah, baby, I've got it. Where is it? Yeah, we've got it here. If you look at the league table as it looks at the moment, I mean, look at where Newcastle and Aston Villa are. It's not great, is it? And after game 4, if you don't win today, it looks even worse. So I think there is an element of pressure on Newcastle and Villa. Villa have got a tough game away at Everton, by the way. But, you know, you can sort of say first 3 games it's not gone well and then you find your rhythm. But after game 4, you start to settle into a bit of consistency. And I think for Newcastle and Villa, the seasons they want to have, they need to get results today. City just as bad as well. I think Man City are... I mean, look, whatever happens with Man United and Man City tomorrow, and I feel like Man United will get a point, I think Arsenal beat them next week. Arsenal play Tuesday, Man City play Thursday, and then they've got to go to the Emirates on Sunday. I think it'll be a tough game for Man City. I really do think Arsenal defensively are brilliant. So, yeah. Iridi says, I'm a Sheffield United fan and my life is in ruins. Is that personally or just because of Sheffield United? Corner to Newcastle here. I know they've not had a very good start to the season, have they? Football, eh? See what happens with this corner for Newcastle. Oh, Hoffenheim have scored away to Union Berlin right at half-time. He's gone out for a goal kick. Kramerich fires the penalty home for Hoffenheim right at half-time, away to Union Berlin. They lead 1-0. Still no goals in the Prem. Grealish almost scored. What a save, says Joy. Are Chelsea Premier League contenders, says Rodri. I mean, I think for Chelsea, they can only do what they can do. I think they've had a very straightforward start compared to Liverpool and Arsenal, who've obviously had to play each other. Liverpool had to go to Old Trafford. Liverpool had to go to Newcastle. Arsenal had to go to Old Trafford. Chelsea haven't really been tested that much, but you can only beat what's in front of you. Obviously, they go to Old Trafford next week. More difficult games on the horizon. But I think from Chelsea's point of view, yeah, it's just about going through the motions. But it's a good game, this, Newcastle and Wolves. There's definitely... he did a good job. You know, when he came in, the Wolves manager did a good job when he took over from Gary O'Neill. I just think when you're losing the players that they're losing, Alt-Nouri, Cunha, it's difficult, isn't it? It's the same as what Bournemouth had. If he gets that cross in, this is 1-0. I think there was an offside anyway. I don't think there was, actually. Shaw. Great defending. It's lovely play by Wolves. They really get it. It's not offside. It's bloody not offside. We got a goal coming in a Premier League game, but I tell you what, Shaw stops a tap in there from Hwang Hee-chan's cross. Tolu's about to tap it in for a 1-0. Brilliant bit of defending. Bournemouth 1-0 up against Brighton. And it's Alex Scott for Bournemouth. Not the former England player and now pundit. That would be great headlines. But it's the Bournemouth player, Alex Scott, who makes it 1-0 there. Good play by Wolves again. Very equal game, this. Newcastle by no means are in the ascendancy. So we've got our first Premier League goal. Bournemouth leading against Brighton 1-0. Crystal Palace still 0-0 with Sunderland. Everton still 0-0 with Villa. Fulham still 0-0 with Leeds. And obviously Newcastle and Wolves is 0-0, albeit it's been a good game. Newcastle not really creating that much at the moment. Goal kick for Margate FC, says Drew. Yeah, I'm doing the Liverpool game tomorrow before the Manchester derby, Faris, because it's we'll probably see a bit of Isaac, won't we? Norwich are winning away to Coventry. Well, there might be a red card here at Newcastle. I think they're playing on. Red card check. What are we thinking? No, not going to get given. No red card cleared. I must admit, I was talking about something else. So if anybody has any big takes on that, let me know. But no red card. Are you covering all the 3 o'clock games? Well, we keep you up to date with what's going on in all the 3 o'clock games. Got another goal. Oh, Stoke are beating Birmingham 1-0. Bristol are 2-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday. And Norwich are beating Coventry 1-0. Coventry at home. Stoke at home. Bristol City away to Sheffield Wednesday. Dortmund are now 2-0 up against Heidenheim. Bayer scoring just on half-time. So Guirassy and Bayer 2-0 up. Good start to the season for Dortmund. We want somebody to push Bayern. Cologne are beating Wolfsburg still. Hoffenheim are 2-0 up against Union Berlin as well. And Stuttgart are beating Freiburg. Every game's got a goal. You get goals in the Bundesliga. Wolves clear the ball away. Saj says Voltemeda looks a little bit slow. What's the crack with Wizza? Is he injured or something? Varney, I just want to give you a virtual handshake. Knee injury for Wizza. Is it a long one? Sounds wrong. I absolutely agree with that point you just made there, and I just can't remember what it was. Brighton manager underachieves with the squad he's got. I've said this so many times. I don't think Brighton had a good season last year. Apparently it's a couple of weeks with Wizza. I really don't think they had a good season last year, Brighton, for the quality of the squad he had. And you look at what Fulham did, Bournemouth did, Forest did. I think Brighton absolutely massively underachieved. I don't rate their coach. I don't think he's very good. But they beat Man City last week, so you can live off that for a few months, can't you? But I think Brighton have a very good squad and don't achieve anywhere near what they should be achieving. I think they should be a team that's comfortably top 8. I mean, I'm just having a quick look at their lineup today. Verbruggen, Dunk, Van Heck, Milner, Hinchelwood, Mitoma, Rutter, Minte, Welbeck. But then you look at their bench. Belabor on the bench. Gruder, brilliant player, on the bench. They've got... I just think they should be doing better. Did you like America when you went, says Evan? I did. So much I'm going to go back again. Well, Voltemeda just had a shot there, but it hit a Wolves player in their head. Hinchelwood did his ankle 15 seconds into the game. What's the name of that Turkish fullback they brought in as well? I rate him. They've got some good players, Brighton. Do you think that... Sunderland will stay up? Kadioglu, that was his name. I think if Sunderland can win their home games and pick up points away from home, they've got a good chance. I mean, they've got 6 points from 9, which is probably more points than Ipswich got last in the whole season. I'm joking, but what I mean is they've had a good start, Sunderland, so... but it's week in, week out. You just can't drop. You can't take your foot off the pedal. You got to stick all the time. United probably were linked to Kadioglu, Man United Devil, no doubt about it. But you know, we get linked to a lot of people, don't we? What's for my tea? I said, well, obviously I was streaming the Arsenal game, so apologies for those people who are tuning in a little bit later. I'm making a steak dinner tonight. Goldbridge. And a pudding. So they're about to start again here. Lots of stop-start in the Prem. We were talking about that, weren't we? It's a very stop-start league, isn't it? Just is. Sorry, I just lost my live chat there. Are you going to do any other games today, Callum? Nah. I'll do Burnley, Liverpool tomorrow, and then obviously the Manchester derby, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Champions League look really good. Iani, you're blocked. You're boring. Your chat's really boring. You're so boring, I've blocked you. Did you see that Baleba got benched 60 million in Jan? Says Alex. Yes, I did. You do wonder what's going on there because he's been subbed off a lot. But look, you know, if you're not playing well, you go to the bench, don't you? Livramento, he's having a very good season, isn't he? But in this game so far, Wolves have definitely been in it. We might be looking, I mean, it's early, but we might be looking at a bit of a shock here because Newcastle are far from dominating. Ah! Oh my God. What is it? The Goldbridge jinx is back. It's back again. And it's a Voltameda debut. Goal. Yeah, far from dominating. Goal. Straight away. Sorry, Wolves. It's been going on for years now. Yeah, I am definitely a jinx. Because as soon as I said that, Newcastle put a cross in and Voltameda heads it home. And it's a very good, I don't know who puts the cross in, but it's a very, very good goal for him on his debut. Obviously, he's massive. I think it might be, well, it's Tonali. Might be Bruno G, but it's a lovely cross. Lovely cross. It's Jacob Murphy with the cross. And it's a good header. I mean, you know, that's a brilliant goal. It's a brilliant goal. The defender can't do anything about it. And a game where Wolves have been in it, Newcastle take the lead with their new striker as well. And that's the difference, isn't it? That's the difference. Cruiser says he's going to be good. It's the difference having a striker that can get on the end of things. And they didn't have that in the first few games, did they? And that is the difference. So Voltameda has scored his debut goal for Newcastle in the first half an hour here. Did you see Demirovic's goal for Stuttgart? I've not seen any of the goals yet, mate. We'll all be seeing them on the highlight show, though. Tuesday live. Mbappe's on fire, says Anon. So Newcastle leading 1-0. Bournemouth beating Brighton 1-0. They're the only two goals we've got in the in the Premier League at the moment. Daniel Sturtridge says, should EA give Diego Jota legend card or just keep him out the game? Not sure what gives and serves more respect, but I can see both sides as respect. What are your thoughts on that in the chat? It's a fair question. Should EA on EAFC 26 keep Jota out of the game or give him a legend card? Not sure what gives him and serves more respect. I mean, the way I would say it is that Maradona's in the game, and I'm not comparing Jota to Maradona, but he's in the game. There are players that are no longer with us who are in the game. Is it too soon to be doing that? I don't know. I think it's a valid point, really. And as somebody that's not ever going to use, I play career mode, so there would be, it's only if you play Ultimate Team it's going to be relevant, and I don't play that. So for me, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. Might be a bit soon though. Maybe wait a year or two. I think that, to be honest, I've never heard the question before. I think the more I think about it and reading the chat, you might get criticised for doing it. And if you're going to get any level of criticism, just don't do it. Sarah says, why is it so sunny in Liverpool and Manchester's pissing down? It's welcome to the UK. I was watching the Arsenal game. It was really sunny and it was absolutely pelting it down here in the Midlands. Thanks for your super chat, Daniel. So we're nearly, well, not quite at half time yet. We've only got the 2 goals. We've seen one of them with Voltemeda. Bournemouth beating Brighton at the moment. QPR beating Wrexham at Wrexham. Wolfsburg equalised against Cologne. It's half-time there, 1-1. Reading have equalised against Barnsley. Bristol City are going to be 3-0 up at Hillsborough here against Sheffield Wednesday. And since the goal, Newcastle are in the ascendancy at St James's Park. It was quite an equal game before the Voltemeda goal. Joy says Everton are applauding. Don't know what that's about. I presume you've not misspelled appalling. How are the AI predictions looking? Says Mal. We'll take a look at that on Monday, I think, but I can't remember what their predictions were. They had Wolves to win this game, didn't they? I'd have took Jose over Ange as Forest manager, JC, because he fits the Nuno recruitment and system better. Brian Dale says, thank God the internationals are over, especially with how crap Ireland are. It's a shame you're not going to be going to the World Cup, Brian. Not you personally, but like the Irish. But they're just not good enough, are they? Bournemouth are going to get Europe, Harold. I think if Bournemouth get Europe, it's incredible, and it's just another indication of that coach is going to be snapped up by somebody big at some point, isn't it? I mean, you're losing players like Kirkes and Yulmlin. Not Yulmlin, was it? Was it Yulmlin? I can't remember his name now. Hoyland. I can't remember his name. And the guy who went to Brentford, Katara, was it? Hulson, that was it. Hulson. But he's a fantastic coach. They do a very good job at Bournemouth. Hulson. Why have I got bloody cycling on here? Get on your bike. Remember when ITV used to put good films on? Oh, they still do. Harry Potter at 4:40. ITV have always done that for years. Star Wars or Harry Potter films on a Saturday afternoon at about 4 o'clock. Lovely stuff. Can't go wrong with that. Sky Atlantic, Game of Thrones all afternoon. UK Gold, Only Fools and Horses. Oh, I tell you what, sometimes I wish I was just a lazy twat, because I'm not. I'd just be sat there watching all of that. Bowl of crisps. Lovely stuff. Tell you what, I won't be watching. Stacey and Joe. Not Joe Wicks. High Pitched Joe, whatever his name is, and Stacey Solomon. No thanks. Absolutely not. I do like Lord of the Rings, yeah. It's a good afternoon film. Lovely ball out to Harvey Barnes. Lots of space. Terrible touch. Goal kick. Throw in. I tell you what, traditionally this does happen a lot though. You've got 5 games. We're approaching half time. We've only got 2 goals. It does happen a lot in the 3 o'clock games. I don't know what it is. You get a lot of low scoring games in the first 45 minutes in 3 o'clock games. I don't know why. I've just moved to Belfast, Mark. Appreciate the company for the football, says the Hood. Enjoy it, pal. Enjoy it. Gavin says, an iconic Saturday was Baywatch, A-Team, Knight Rider, Thunder in Paradise, and WCW, followed by Late Night Prisoner Cell Block H. Who remembers Yellow Thread Street? I was thinking about that the other day. That was something I used to watch, and I can't remember where I watched it, but I just remember that vaguely. I used to love Noel's House Party. Yeah, I used to love Noel's House Party. What else? Hello, hello. Big break. Wolves on the attack. It's a good cross again. Go on, mate. Put it back in there. I think Wolves have got a goal in them, I do. Another chance, headed wide. Maybe they haven't got a goal in them because maybe they're too wasteful. Yellow Thread Street is a British television drama first broadcast in 1990 that focuses on the work of a group of detectives in Hong Kong. I don't remember anything about it. At all. Alan Partridge or Brenty, says David. I like them both. Mozza says, I've just realised how big Voltameda is. Wow. Swansea are 1-0 up against Hull. Hoffenheimer 3-1 up against Union Berlin. Bundesliga goals. That was 0-0 not long ago. 1-0. 2 goals in stoppage time of the first half. 49th minute answer for Union Berlin. Remember, he was good in week 1. He's got 3 in 3 for Union Berlin. And then Hoffenheim have made it 3-1 in the 52nd minute. So 4 goals in that game already. Still only 2 in the Prem. Dortmund are 2-0 up. They'll get more. Stuttgart are 1-0 up away to Freiburg. Wolfsburg 1-1 with Cologne at half-time. And Leipzig are winning 1-0 at Mainz. And the goal scorer is Bakayoko. 40th minute. Don't stand off. Oh, I tell you what. Murphy, what are Wolves doing here? He's got the ball about 30 yards out. And Wolves just drop off. And he goes, you know what? I'm going to have a shot. And he has a shot. And he probably should hit the target. You can't stand off people at that level. And they did. And he's just shot wide. Who are your top 3 comedians and why, Mark, says Mario Franco? I don't know. I don't know that I'm massively into like stand-up comedy. Like I do like Ricky Gervais. But I don't know that I'm massively into it. Really. I'd rather watch comedy series like The Office and stuff like that. Did you like Bottom, Mark, says Daz? I used to like Bottom when I was at school. That sounds really bad, but it was actually a TV series. Yeah, it sounds really bad if you don't know the context. Comedy's not what it used to be, Gavin, at all. Yeah, we all loved it. We all loved it at school. Surface of the World Unite says, if you were a manager, suit or tracksuit or a full kit? Well, you'll find out soon. Harvey Barnes is in down the left-hand side, cuts it back. Surely it's 2-0. It is. Although it's offside. I think Harvey Barnes goes way... Yeah, he's way offside there. Way offside. Yeah, well, Surfer of the World Unite. My FC26 career mode is coming back. So I will be... you'll see whether I'm a suit or tracksuit kind of guy. I like a shirt and tie. Sorry, a shirt and trousers. Yeah. QPR are 2-0 up against Wrexham. Maybe the Wrexham bubble is about to burst because they're not finding it as comfortable in the Championship as they have in previous leagues. I've said before about Wrexham, Phil Parkinson's going to need the sack. I know it's not nice to say somebody should be sacked, but if you've watched Wrexham play, Phil Parkinson's done a very good job in getting them from, you know, to where they are. But his style of football is very Sam Allardyce, and it's not going to work. At some point, they're going to have to change that, aren't they? Rangers losing 1-0 at Ibrox to Hearts as well. Bloody hell. What's going on there? Skibby-doo. What's going on then? Eh? What's going on up there? Eh? Eh? What? Eh? What? Eh? What? What's going on? Scooby-Doo. I can't believe it. I remember doing that FC whatever career mode with Scotland in the was it the Euros? I think I got him to the semi-finals, but there's no one who could score goals. Could you beat Onana in a penalty shootout? Mate, I've already done a video where I took 10 penalties against Ben Foster and I scored 6. I would score all 10 against Onana. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter who's in goal. You should score a penalty if you can kick the ball. Unless they guess right, you should always score. You're going to have a drink tonight, Mark? I haven't had a drink in ages, you know. Might have a glass of red. Anyway, Volta-Maida or Wood, 52% have gone with Volta-Maida and 48% have gone with Wood. We're getting a few half-times coming in the Prem now. Fulham and Leeds, it's half-time, 0-0. Not many goals. That's for sure. We need some more goals in the second half. That is for sure. Any nice red wine suggestions, Mark, says Exori. I've sort of settled on Malbec now. That's what I like as a red wine. I do like red wine, and I was a bit of a peasant in relation to it. I would just never know what to pick. So I did a little bit of research last year. 0-0 Everton and Villa at half-time. Yeah, I did a bit of research last year, and Malbec's my favourite at the moment. I will try some others. The problem with Rangers, says Sinister, is Russell Martin. Well, yeah. 5 minutes added on in the Newcastle game. Half-time, Everton and Villa. Still playing Crystal Palace, Sunderland 0-0. Still playing Bournemouth and Brighton 1-0 to Bournemouth. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. The home of football we're hoping to become. Very, very big, groundbreaking stuff that we've got going on with the Bundesliga. Hopefully there's more of that to come as well. We've got some exciting stuff coming up for you in the next couple of weeks as well. New stuff as well. All because of you. Because of you. Joel Linton. Wolves have been competitive, but they can't score goals. That's the problem with Wolves, isn't it? They can't score goals. But this guy they've got in up front has got a good goal record. So, who knows? Newcastle starting to go through the gears a bit now. Tonali. Oh, is it? Oh, I tell you what. That would have been a great goal. Tonali. Just outside the box, low. Sam Johnston's just looking at it. Hits the inside of the post. And you feel that if that goes in, it's probably going to be a very big mountain to climb for Wolves. 0-0 Palace and Sunderland at half-time. So that'll be a very good point if Sunderland can get something there. Yeah, Sam Johnston is beaten all ends up there. Very unlucky from Tonali. Sunderland are dominating Palace, says Daniel. I will confirm whether that is true or not. Let's have a quick look. 53% possession for Sunderland. Neither had a shot on target, so I wouldn't say it's domination. XG of 0.2 for both. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it's domination. Corner to Newcastle. But Leeds 0-0 with Fulham. Sunderland 0-0 with Palace. Both newly promoted teams doing quite well. Another corner to Newcastle. Bit of panic in the box there. And it's half-time. Newcastle 1. Wolves 0. Let's stop the clock. Where is it? Where are you? There we go. Chunky chips or French fries? I don't like chunky chips. I find them very hot. Prefer the French fries, definitely. You should do watch along with all the scores at the bottom of your screen, says Man United. As opposed to having a watch along with all the screens in a much better format like this. Yeah, I think we'll stick with our own design, but thank you for your input. What's happened to Villa? Well, they're 0-0 at the moment, and Everton have had a good start to the season. Look at Real Madrid's score. I'm on it. España. Real Madrid are 1-0 up against Sociedad. and Hulson's been sent off. How do you even watch Real Madrid? How do you even watch La Liga in the UK? Who has La Liga rights? I mean, for me, put them on here. You get a lot more people interested in your league. I don't think DAZN have got it. I don't think DAZN have got it. I'm not sure, but there we go. Premier Sports, I think you're right, Wolf. I think you are right. Disney Plus, I know they were going to have something, Hoots, yeah. Can't you remember the days, though, where, like, I think it was Sky used to have everything. Like, they'd do a highlight show, they'd have absolutely everything. And now, you need about... I always say it, especially for 3 o'clock, you need about 50 different subscriptions, and even then you won't be able to watch everything. I mean, in the UK, we have... Well, it's 2 again now, but it was 3 with Amazon Prime. You got TNT and Sky, which you pay a lot of money for, and you don't even get all the games. Champions League, you need TNT and Amazon Prime. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Troy Parrott has got the most goals in European League, says Tim. Volta Maida reminds me of a 35-year-old Zlatan, says Marlowe. Sky did promise more coverage this season. I think the problem with Sky is that they're out of touch. They're so out of touch. There's nothing I watch on Sky apart from, like, tomorrow I'll watch the Manchester Derby. If a game's on Sky, I'll watch it. If a game's on TNT, I'll watch it. But the content around it, God, so boring. So boring. But then again, I'm very fortunate that we have you and the community. That's the only way I want to watch football these days anyway. Thank you everyone who's tuning in. 11,000 of you. Please do share the video and subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. What has happened to Luton Town? It feels like just recently they were in the Prem and now they're struggling in League One. I think they were massively overachieving. I know they're losing to Plymouth at half-time, but I think they were massively overachieving. Mukto says, what's your thoughts on Volta Maida so far? A bit like Gyökeres, you know. Goals are what it's all about. And Volta Maida comes with a very, very high ceiling. Not just because he's tall, but I'll put my hands up and say I don't know loads about him. It was one of the players I was looking forward to looking at doing the Bundesliga, because next week we've got Stuttgart on Friday. But looking at that half, not a lot going on, but scores a very good header. And I think sometimes we forget that strikers are there to score goals. Gyökeres, I thought, did okay for Arsenal earlier. Scores a tap-in, done his job. Why does he score a tap-in? Because he's watching Eze, he's watching the offside line, he's holding his line, he's in position, goal. Look at Volta Maida there, pulls off to the back post, perfect cross, good header. I think everybody wants strikers now to be a Zlatan or an Mbappe or a Thierry Henry. And actually, sometimes you can just be an Andy Cole. You can just be a Gary Lineker. You can just be a goal scorer. And I think Volta Maida in that 45 minutes hasn't done an awful lot, but he scored a good goal. And that's why it's 1-0. Simple as that. Boring Premier League games at 3 o'clock. This happens a lot. I've said it before. It does happen a lot. We've only got 2 goals out of 5 games. Still 0-0 Palace, Sunderland, Everton, Villa, Fulham, Leeds, 1-0 Newcastle, Wolves, 1-0 Bournemouth, Brighton. Hopefully we'll get a load of goals in the second half. There's a VAR moment in Wolfsburg versus Cologne. We'll keep you updated with that. Hoffenheim are 3-1 up against Union Berlin. Leipzig are 1-0 up against Mainz. Dortmund are 2-0 up against Heidenheim, and Stuttgart are 1-0 against Freiburg, the home of the Bundesliga here. Keep up to date with it. Friday Night Football and our highlight show on a Tuesday where we go through all the goals and have the top 5 goals of the week and all that for you to get involved in. In the Championship, Birmingham are losing to Stoke at Stoke. Bristol are 3-0 up at Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich are 1-0 up at Coventry. Wrexham losing at home 2-0 to QPR. And Swansea and Hull 1-1. I'm in the wrong league. I was looking in League 1 for Salford. They're in League 2, aren't they? Salford are beating Shrewsbury 1-0. There we go. So, let me come back to the chat. David Hogan says 3 p.m. after the international break can be rough. Yeah, we were talking about this in the Arsenal game. You know, you play 3 games, nobody's really got any rhythm, then everyone pisses off for 2 weeks, so you lose that rhythm, and then you start again. And I don't think we will start to see proper rhythm from teams until about game week 5. Because that international break is badly timed. If you remember the Qatari World Cup, there was no international break in September. The first international break was the end of September. So we got I think we got 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 Premier League games before the first international break. I think 3 Premier League games and then an international break is stupid. It's just way too soon, and it just stunts the growth of and the rhythm of the league. But you know, what can you do? What can you do? International breaks are changing next season, says Doug. What? Tell us more. Tell us more, please. I need to know. What is this? Shora says, big fan and your work. I'm a regular viewer of the United Stand from India. I was thinking of buying the book of yours, so could you just give me a gist about your book? I don't have a book to hand. I used to have some. So, Football According to Mark Goldbridge. I was actually listening to it yesterday. I just finished, I'm on Audible, and I just finished the latest series of Alan Partridge from the Oast House. I was looking to something to listen to, and I downloaded my book. So I listened to it, and I really enjoyed it because I read it a year ago, and I wrote it 18 months ago. So, yeah, it's just a bit about football, you know, in my own way. So, yeah. You probably enjoy it. If you like the content, you probably will enjoy it. Check it out. Available from all good bookstores, Amazon, and you can listen to it as well. Thank you very much. I think that Ian Jung says he's Hwang Hee-chan playing well. He seems to have lost confidence, but he is class. I think Wolves have played okay, mate, but it's a tough place to come, isn't it? It's a very tough place, Newcastle, and unfortunately, I did jinx it. I literally just said that it's a tough place. It's been a very equal game, and then they put a cross in and Voltemeda scored. Newcastle are one of my favourite teams to watch, says Nathan. Going to sound like a wind-up, but it's not. You think they get lucky missing out on Šeško? This guy looks good. No, I think Newcastle are a good team to watch, Nathan. Like, they do... I said it literally in the game. Like, the first 10 minutes was much better than the 90 minutes that we saw for Arsenal and Forest, because Wolves came with an intention to play, and then that opens up the game for Newcastle. So, yeah, it's been a decent game. I thought Newcastle-Liverpool was a decent game. I didn't watch the Leeds game. I don't think that was a very good one, was it? But it makes a big difference having a striker. And I think with a striker, they will have a good season. Isaac says it'll be a 3-week break in September, but no October break. So 4 international matches instead of 2 in September. Oh my God. That sounds like a load of bullshit. What am I going to do? What are we going to do? Okay, so this is true. September international breaks are getting longer from 2026 in a move that will bring the disappearance of the October international break. The change is being made for a number of reasons. These include the 2026 World Cup final having the latest date for a Summer World Cup since 1966, with the match due to be played on the 19th of July, the final. Player welfare, also travel considerations. There are currently 5 international breaks each year, lasting 2 weeks each. Each break means there's no league football in the top divisions for 2 weeks as countries play 2 matches each. Starting next year, there will instead be an increased September break with no October break and a regular November break. There will be a 3-week gap for domestic matches in September, and countries will play 4 international matches instead of 2. While the September break is getting longer, the removal of the October break means that in total 1 week fewer in the domestic season is lost to international breaks. You know what? I don't like it. I don't like it. But once that September one's done, I'd quite, you know, once that one, I think once the September one's done, then you'd sort of go, there's only November to come. Yeah. So basically what'll happen is you get an international break would still be going on now. So last weekend, no games, international. This weekend, no games, international. Next week, it's back. It's raining at the Fulham game, says Tyler. Thanks everyone who's watching. We've got over 11,000. Please keep sharing the video and subscribe. You're welcome to That's Football. Lots going on here. Trust me, lots going on here over the next few weeks and months. So make sure you're getting involved and joining the biggest and best football fan community. You're absolutely fantastic. Those 3 weeks are going to drag, though, says Sarah. Yes, that's the problem. That is the problem. It will feel like a big drag, definitely. Isaac, thank you very much for that update. I had not heard about it at all. Squirrels just bought the audio book. Thank you very much. I don't promote the book. It's good. It's a good book and it's a good audio book. I don't promote it because it was a year ago, but it still stands the best of time. Sunday Times top 5 seller as well when it first came out. No, second half's not started yet. I will do the timer when it does. They had a few delays, didn't they? The game there. Wolfsburg are leading. Shrewsbury just equalised against Salford, by the way. And Wolfsburg are now 2-1 up against Cologne. They've turned it around. Did Eriksson play that game? Be surprised if he did. I think he'd be on the bench, I do. At best. Yeah, he's on the bench, Christian Eriksen. We are still waiting for Newcastle and Wolves to start. All the other games have started. In fact, we're 4 minutes into the Fulham Leeds game. Matthew Edwards says, I think it would be great if you could do watch-alongs of historically classic matches like you do for the Bundesliga. You still wouldn't, I know what you mean, but you still wouldn't get the rights. That's the problem. They're still owned by whoever's got the TV rights. I guarantee if I said to, like, the Premier League, can I have the match footage of Man United against Arsenal from 2000, they'd still want like £1 million. I'd probably want more than that. Blackburn are 1-0 up against Watford. Start of the second half here. Thank you for your super chat, Matthew. Varney says, apart from the big six, which managers do you highly rate? To be honest with you, mate, I'm a big, and I think a lot of people are. I'm a big shouter-outer of the managers outside of the top six. Brighton goal, apparently. I had a draw for that, didn't I? I think I did put a draw down for that. Bournemouth-Brighton, I put a draw. Robbie put Bournemouth. Could do with a bloody goal there. I'll tell you who the goal scorer is in a minute. Yeah, I mean, I think out of the traditional top six, Amram's a good coach. I'm joking. I'm not joking about Amram being a good coach. I'm saying we're not in the top six. Look, David Moyes is a decent Premier League coach. He won a trophy with West Ham, and look at what he's done with Everton. I don't like his style of football, but as a journeyman Premier League coach, he's good. Obviously, Glasner's done a great job at Palace. I think until he got sacked, Nuno did a very good job at Forest. Marco Silva at Fulham's very good. Thomas Frank obviously got his go at Spurs, deservedly. Bournemouth manager's very, very good. So I think we've got a lot of good managers in the Premier League. And I hope that we see more of what happens with Thomas Frank, where we see players, managers given a chance when they've done their apprenticeship. What's going on with Sheffield United? 0 from 15, says Justin Lanvier. That is a crap record. Yeah. It is 1-1, Bournemouth and Brighton. A goal straight away, and it's Matoma. Matoma makes it 1-1. Header from across. God, I'm yawning. God, that's never a good sign. Rodri says, do you watch any La Liga? Not really. I used to, pre-COVID. Newcastle started this off very well, looking to get the game done. Arkham says, if you had the rights to La Liga, would you do watch-alongs? I mean, I genuinely think that these leagues should be looking at That's Football for stuff like that. I genuinely do. I think, you should be looking at audience, not just money. And I think what the Bundesliga has done, I think they're very happy with it. And I think it's a real step forward, because our audiences are very different to traditional media, which are old and dying, literally. But I don't think La Liga is what it was, really, in the UK scene. Vishesh says, did you see the new Charlie Sheen documentary? No, I didn't even know there was one. Joshua says, I think Villa looked terrible. What do you think went wrong? Well, I've got bloody Villa to win, which is looking like a really bad move. I went Villa win, and Robbie's gone with a draw. He's got a lot of bloody draws this week, Robbie. Bournemouth, Brighton. Oh, no, he's gone with a Bournemouth win. West Ham and Spurs, he's gone with a draw. Everton and Villa, he's gone with a draw. Corner from Newcastle. He's not very good on corners, Sam Johnston, is he? He's a bit of a puncher. Doesn't give you an air of authority. I seem to mix Voltameda and that bad character, the name that is not mentioned from Harry Potter, Voldemort. Am I the only one? Have a nice evening, says Howder. Well, no, it makes sense. Voltameda, Voldemort. I am rewatching the Harry Potter films. It's a generational thing for me. We always, with my daughter, my youngest daughter, we used to watch Harry Potter, all the films from like end of September through till November. Then I did it with the same with my middle child, and now I'm doing it with Seb. But you must not say his name, says Real. So yeah, I'd never thought about Voltameda and Voldemort even though it's a very obvious connection. Not so sure about the remake of Harry Potter, by the way. I think they're such classic films. But money, it's money again, isn't it? Money, money, money. Gotta nobody wants to make anything new these days, do they? It's like, let's rehash everything. It's way too soon to be doing that, but they just want to make Harry Potter into a franchise, don't they? Money, 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 money. Carlos Baleba is not even on the bench. He is Italian, man. He is on the bench. He's definitely been named on the bench. What's your favourite Potter film? I always liked Azkaban because I like Gary Oldman. I like the fact that those films get progressively darker. Like when they start off, it just gets progressively darker, doesn't it? James has been to Harry Potter World and said it was disappointing. I went years ago, did quite like it. Newcastle in the box here. Bit scrappy, but Wolves give a corner up. Why are we not getting any goals in the Premier League? We had 2 goals out of 5 games at half time. The Bundesliga had about 10. What's going on? Maybe it's just one of them weeks. Freiburg have equalised against Stuttgart. There's only 4 minutes to go. Dortmund are still 2-0 up against Heidenheim. Leipzig are still 1-0 up against Mainz. Hoffenheim are 4-2 up against Union Berlin, who have had a man sent off. And Wolfsburg still leading 2-1 against Cologne. Newcastle have a corner. In the Championship, still no goals after half-time. We've had 1 goal in the second half in the Prem. Brighton equalising at Bournemouth. Newcastle looking to put this game to bed with the second goal. I'll say it again. I think the big problem that Wolves have got is a lack of ability to score goals. Keeps doing this. I don't know why I've lost my live chat again. Bloody hell. Second half possession for Newcastle is 89%. And they're winning 1-0. They're really turning the screw here. Four games, nothing from Watkins. Slow start, says Dean. I feel we're on the verge of an Everton goal. I'm not even watching that game, but I do. Voltemade scored for Newcastle MMA Live. Wolves are going to get relegated, says Kelly. Scoring goals is the biggest thing in the Premier League. If you can score goals, you're going to stay up. And Wolves, at the moment, you know, Cunha was such a big player for them last year. And I wouldn't say they're going to get relegated because I still think it takes a huge amount of effort for Leeds or Burnley or Sunderland to stay up, and Wolves have probably got the know-how. Roscoe says Villa are definitely going to score now you've just said that. It's funny you should say that. No, they haven't, don't worry. Jared says, love your lives. I'm a West Ham fan and it's been an extremely tough watch so far. If you're in Potter's shoes, what would you do to improve? I don't really understand what the West Ham plan is. I feel like the investment was there last summer. It didn't work. Lopetegui got moved on. And then this summer, they didn't really do anything. And, I mean, Jared Bowen's a fantastic player. Paqueta's very good as well. They have got some good players, but I think it's going to be a hard season for West Ham. Because you can't stand still, and you certainly can't weaken yourself. Sunderland spent a ridiculous amount of money on a load of players none of us really know much about, but they've been ambitious. Obviously, we know about the top 4 or 5 teams in the Prem. Sold the best players as the great one, yeah, and there's not much in the way of progress, is there? I think Bournemouth might have a penalty. Yeah, they have. Penalty for Bournemouth. I'll keep you updated on that. Barnsley 3-1 up. That's not the Championship, is it? No. Oh, Freiburg are 2-1 up against Stuttgart now. That's a bad result for them. Joel Linton gets the pass. Sam Johnston, very brave. Very good. Hoffenheim 4, Union Berlin 2. That was 0-0 at half-time, basically. And Freiburg have a penalty as well. But let's go back to Brighton, Bournemouth. I don't know whether the penalty's been overruled because I can't see penalty now. No penalty. No penalty check complete. There we go. Bournemouth do not have a penalty. Dean says, after the start to the season, it's so hard to place who will be bottom 3. Who do rate will be relegated? We're only 3 games in, and my prediction was that we would my relegated 3 are the 3 up, 3 down still. Yeah. Well, it is a penalty to Bournemouth because Semenyu's just scored it. So somebody told me it wasn't a penalty. And apparently it was. So I'm sorry about that. I was saying, ooh, not a penalty. And apparently it was. So there we go. Lots of people saying it wasn't a penalty. I'm just trying to see if I can find it anywhere. Soft penalty on Evan Nilsson. Welcome to the Prem. VAR as usual. Was it given in real time? Or was it a VAR interference? Semenyu's cooking in an FPL. Well, that is a positive. think I might be able to take a look at it. Just trying to see. Did VAR give it, or was it the ref on the pitch? Ref gave it. I think, having seen it, if I'm being completely honest, I think it was a penalty. Controversial or not, I think it was a penalty. I've just had a look at it. I've just seen a clip of it there. And for me, I would want that if that was against United tomorrow. You know, it's Šeško in the box against a Man City defender. I would want that. So I don't think it's soft. I think it's right. Why didn't we get Emmy, man? Look at those saves. Apparently he's having a good game. Thank you, Vanch. I've gone with a draw for West Ham and Spurs, Charlie. So, Bournemouth 2-1 up against Brighton. Crystal Palace 0-0 with Sunderland still. Everton Villa still 0-0. Fulham Leeds 0-0. We need some bloody goals in these games. Come on. Newcastle obviously 1-0 up, as we know. Birmingham are losing to Stoke at Stoke. Wrexham are losing at home to QPR in the Championship. Coventry are losing at home to Norwich. Freiburg 3, Stuttgart 1 now. No real shocks there. And Real Madrid are 2-0 up, even though they've got 10 men against Real Sociedad. They were 1-0 up with 10 men. They are now 2-0 up. Galler made it 2-0 just before half-time. So Real Madrid are doing absolutely fine, even with 10 men. Harrison says, I thought Palace at home would do better against Sunderland. Well, win at home and try and get some points away from home is exactly right. So AI was right. Semenyo and Mitoma have scored, says Chance. That is scary. That is really scary. Let me have a look on hot takes. You should be able to hear it. Goldbridge hot takes. Where are you? Let's be having you. Had AI predicting the Premier League winner, we've now got AI predicting the Premier League weekend results. Could it be right? I tell you what, if it is, I'm getting off. This world's over. Arsenal against Nottingham Forest, 2-1 Arsenal. Goal scorers, Gyökeres, Madueke and Wood. He's even predicting goal scorers. Imagine if this comes true. Bournemouth against Brighton, 1-1 Semenyo Mitoma. Crystal Palace against Sunderland, 2-0 Palace, 3-0 to Palace. Mateta and Sarr. Everton against Aston Villa, away win Aston Villa, 2-0 Watkins and Rodgers. Fulham against Leeds, 1-1 Muniz and Micha. Newcastle against Wolves, I mean AI's had a nightmare here, 1-2 to Wolves. Bruno Guimaraes, Strand Larsen, Bang Hee-chan. They've had a nightmare there. West Ham against Tottenham, 3-1 to Tottenham. Paqueta, Richarlison with 2 and Brennan Johnson. Brentford against Chelsea, 1-0 Chelsea, João Pedro. Burnley against Liverpool, 4-0 to Burnley, I'm joking. 3-0 to Liverpool, Ekitike with 2, Salah with the other one. And then the big one of the weekend, I'll take this, Man City 2, Manchester United 2, 2 goals for Haaland, Cunha and Mount. Oh, they've messed it up, they're both... Well, they did get Mitoma and Semenyo, to be fair. That was AI predictions, not my predictions. That's why we were doing it. What's your favourite takeout on a Saturday, says V? I get asked this all the time, and to be honest with you, Voltemeda has just gone off, not suspended or injured. He's just been substituted. I I've said it so many times, my Saturday night takeaway is always, always, always based on mood. So sometimes I want an Indian, sometimes I want a Chinese. You know, sometimes I like fish and chips. So it depends on the mood. Tonight, Matthew, I do feel like, well, I'm making a steak dinner, so I'm having that. That'll be nice. I'm not a big fan of pizza. Can Wolves get back into this? Well, they've got 25 minutes. Newcastle have been dominant in the second half. American or British food? I tell you what, when I was in New York, I had the best pancake breakfast. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you ever go to the Ghostbusters fire station in New York, basically, it's directly along. So the next street, whatever it's called, on the corner. I can't remember what the name of the place was, but it was so nice. There's probably loads of places you can get them from, but it was just really nice. Random question. Do you have any thoughts on Bristol City, says Alpha? Oh, not until you told me. Rangers are still losing at home to Hearts. He's surely going to get the sack, Russell Martin. Disappointing Premier League. Come on. No wonder people say the Bundesliga's better. Better fans, better flow, better referees, and more goals. Was it Bubbies? I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to... shout this restaurant out right now. That looks like a good tackle. Bruno Guimaraes does go down a lot, doesn't he? I think it was Bubbies actually, looking at the pancakes. I think that was. I think that was. Let's have a look. I'll definitely know if I look at maps. Yeah, that's it. Bubbies, that's the place. Definitely. 100%. You got your shout out. You got your shout out. Come on, get us a goal somewhere. 73 minutes. Everton 0, Villa 0. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Fulham 0, Leeds 0. We've not really looked at the Fulham Leeds games. Let's have a look at the stats in that game. So XG is better for Leeds, 50-50 possession. Leeds have actually had more shots on target, 3-2, and total shots 7-2. So Fulham not doing much. Maybe Leeds could get a win there. They're doing good. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Martinez is single-handedly keeping Villa in the game. He's been loads of people saying he's been world class. Could have been bloody wearing a Man United shirt. Instead, we've got fucking Binder in goal tomorrow. I don't know. Harry Potter's on at 4:40. It is, Alan, but we've already watched Philosopher's Stone. We're on, we finished Chamber of Secrets Thursday, so we're on to Azkaban now. What were the subs for Newcastle? Osula came on for Voltemeda. Willocks come on for Joe Linton. Ballagard's on for Mascara for Wolves. Menezes is on for Andre. And Arias is on for the lad up front, Tolu. Temptation, the City fan says, hear me out. I think City slowly going to stop playing out from the back again. Proves that with Donnarumma. Remember my words. I was looking at Sky. The guy who's reporting from the Hawthorns, that's the guy I threw a ball at his head when United Stand played Football Daily. If you know, you know. You need to be watching Sky. Well, it's gone now. And you need to know that clip. So probably very niche. I'd say about 2 people max, and I'm one of them. It was a bad tackle. Good cross by Newcastle. Good defending. And again, I mean, it has been backs against the wall from Wolves. Wolves were doing all right up until the Voltemeda goal, but ever since it's been 1-0, Newcastle have really played with confidence. And they've not really been able to create anything. Did you get a red card? I subbed myself. I'm starving now, you know, all this talk about food. Would you have, Wanderer says, would you rather have Volta Messi or current Messi? I haven't seen enough of Volta Messi yet. I mean, he took his goal well, but looks a little bit scrappy. Wrexham have a goal back. No, they don't. QPR are 3-1 up. Raphael says, what did you think about Tolu for Wolves? Again, a bit like Volta Messi, it's difficult, you know. There's so many players that are just not up to sharpness yet. I don't think Gyökeres is up to sharpness. Lovely play by Newcastle, ends up with a shot by Harvey Barnes over the bar. I think so many players, you can't judge them at the moment because they're up against a lack of fitness and sharpness, and I think that was obvious with Volta Messi, or Voltemeda, and same with the Wolves striker as well. Nuno to Wrexham, says Dr. G. Simon says, any danger of Palace scoring? Surely we're going to get a late goal in one of the 3. I mean, this is not a good advert for the Premier League. We've got fucking 3 goals in 5 games. Like, we're averaging, I mean, what's that? 3 divided by 5. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, 3 divided by 5. We're averaging less than... I can't do 3 divided by 5. Come on, that's what our live chat's for. 0.6. Oh, I've got 4 goals as well. Yeah, we have got 4 goals. 4 divided by 5. .8 goal a game. How does that even work? Wombat says, what are your early predictions for... Oh, God. Solihull Moors were 2-1 up in the Cup, and they're now 4-3 down. Prats. What are your early predictions for Championship teams going up? Says Wombat. I don't know, because I haven't looked at the Championship in a long time. Do you realise Bournemouth would be joint top if they hold on? Middlesbrough have... God, they played 5 games. Middlesbrough and Stoke would be first and second, and Bristol would be third. I mean, I like that as a top 3. You know, Certainly better than bloody Leicester and Southampton and Ipswich bouncing straight back. Wolves on the attack. 15 to go. Have a shot. Go on, put the cross in, put the cross in. No, you can't put the cross in from there. Put it in. That's a lovely cross. Pope's there to catch it, though. This is what the international break does to people, says Palace, Red Devil. Premier League goals are being saved till tomorrow. 5-0 to United, says Tom McBride. Yeah, remember, tomorrow it will be United stand for the Manchester derby. Join us over there. I am doing Liverpool against Burnley before that because I just want to see if Isak's going to make his debut, see how that goes. Oh my God. Wolfsburg. What's this? The last Bundesliga game being played because it was delayed. It was 1-0 Cologne, 1-1, 2-1. And then Cologne equalised in stoppage time to make it 2-2. And then in the 9th minute of stoppage time, Wolfsburg have won it 3-2. That's going to be great on the highlights. Well, they had 4 goals in one game, 2 in another, 1 in another, 6 in another, and 5 in another. We've had, well, we know we've got 3 bloody 0-0s. I don't know. Lindelof's coming on for Villa. Baltomeda's gone off, Anthony. Wolves on the attack. Should have crossed that first time. Villa fans, I'd be a little bit worried about bringing on Lindelof. Where's William Wallace? Is he playing? Oh, he should have had a shot. Sancho. On the bench. Sancho's on the bench. Harvey Elliott's come on. No, Sancho's not come on yet. Wiz has got an injury, Jacob. I think he's back in a couple of weeks. I don't know whether I'll do another 3 o'clock game. I could have been painting a fence that doesn't need painting. Vanch says, we've been waiting for the break to be over and we get this. Yeah. Genuinely, I feel like I'm apologising. Solihull Moors have equalised 4-4. It's a cracker. I don't know. I think you've just got to put it down to the fact that the international break breaks the rhythm. Imagine look, if you tuned in a little bit late, big shout out. One of our community was saying that they're changing the way international breaks happen next season forever. So instead of having a September, October, November international break, they're going to make the September international break longer, get rid of the October international break and have the November one as usual. But the September one's going to be a 3-week break. Now, imagine what that's going to do. If the players are like this after a 2-week break, after 3 weeks, we may as well bloody... It'd be snail football. Personally, what I would do is I'd get rid of the September international break and make the October one a 3-week break or the November one a 3-week break. The September one needs to go. That's the one that needs to go. It's too early. Lindelof's playing CDM for Villa. Yeah, make the October one the long one and then get rid of the September one. Exactly. '85th minute. Still 0-0 Fulham lead. Still 0-0 Everton Villa. Still 0-0 Palace Sunderland. Still 2-2, 2-1 to Brighton, to Bournemouth at Brighton. Home to Brighton. And obviously we've got Newcastle here, 1-0. Looking at their first win of the season. 5 goals in the 3 p.m. Peps ruined football, says Jordan. Rangers still losing to Hearts. 10 minutes to go. Scottish League is just Celtic, isn't it? Celtic, 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 Celtic. Somebody just said Cologne have scored as well. Oh, my God. They have! Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So it was 2-1 to Wolfsburg. Cologne made it 2-2 in stoppage time. 10 minutes into stoppage time, Wolfsburg made it 3-2. 15 minutes into stoppage time, Cologne have just made it 3-3. Incredible. Which means Cologne, newly promoted, would have 7 from 9. Dortmund beat Heidenheim. Leipzig beat Mainz. Freiburg beat Stuttgart. Hoffenheim beat Union Berlin. And Cologne and Wolfsburg are still playing. Bayern play at 5:30. Still 0-0 Everton Villa. Still 0-0 Fulham Leeds. Still 0-0 Palace Sunderland. There we go. Jay Cart says Bundesliga has more action in one game compared to our 5. Hearts are 2 up now, apparently, says Alex. Why do you think we don't get that many goals in the Prem? It's too stop-start is one reason. Way too stop-start. This Newcastle Wolves game has been so stop-start. It's incredible. And everything's a fucking drama, isn't it? As soon as there's a free kick, there has to be a big old chat about it as well. Shankland's got the second goal for Hearts. They're 2-0 up against Rangers. Emery's just subbed on Lindelof to play midfield, says Dan Elias. James McCarthy says teams are too well coached. You know what I think it is? And look, we'll keep an eye on it because obviously we do cover the Bundesliga here now. I think it can be symbolised in what we saw in the game last night. Collins, the centre-back for Frankfurt, from 35 yards, just hits it. Nearly scores a fucking worldie. Hits the bar. Are you allowed to do that in the Prem? I think players are more expressive. I think they take people on more. I think they shoot more. They don't pass backwards as much as well. That's something that somebody said last night. They don't pass backwards. They go forwards. And definitely the referees have a part to play. And also possibly the atmosphere. I think players respond to atmospheres, and I think the atmospheres there are, well, you've seen them. That could have something to do with it. I think players do respond to atmospheres, and I think Premier League atmospheres don't live up to that. So I think there's a few reasons. But I would like to see referees letting the game flow more. I think that would help. I would like to see teams be a little bit more expressive. You know, maybe. I think we have become a bit Pep centric in the sense that teams are very system led and percentage based. Everton just had a big chance, says Joy. Scars, there is no money in it, so goodbye. And a late corner here for Newcastle. But genuinely, I don't know. I mean, it's not good enough that the Premier League has got so many clean sheets. I don't think the international break helps as well. This happens a lot. Traditionally, it happens a lot. The international break does kill momentum. Apparently, the Cologne scorer is actually on loan from Wolfsburg. Martin, you're blocked as well. Bye-bye. Come on, just give us a late goal somewhere. I'll tell you what, I'm having a bad week as well. Robbie said Everton and Fulham draw. Everton and Villa draw. I said Villa win. Robbie said Bournemouth, Brighton. Bournemouth win. I said Brighton draw. So I'm 2 down straight away. If fucking West Ham draw with Spurs, I'm done. Because that's the only other differential we've got. I'm having a bloody nightmare. This is because I'm not used to this shit. I'm used to bloody... I expect goals. It's a foul for Wolves. Right on the edge of the box. Villa haven't scored in 4 games, Mark. That is crazy. That is shit. I mean, God. I know a few Villa fans. So goal of the month for August is probably the closest chance to a goal? Or do you just give it to somebody who scored a goal against you? That is shit though, isn't it? Hopefully it's just a blip. Clean sheet of the month. Yeah, I mean, imagine that. You're a Villa fan. You've been excited about the return to football all summer. And it's mid-September and you haven't scored a fucking goal in 4 games. I mean, what's going on? Are teams just playing too pragmatically? I don't know. Corner, free kick into the wall, goes out for a corner. Wolves. Kevin says somebody tried to blow up a referee's shop in Greece. How is he allowed to own a Premier League team? Fulham have scored right at the end. Right at the end. Poor old Leeds. But Fulham have a late winner. We've got a bit of drama. We've got a bit of action. Thank God for that. Let's have a look. Yeah, we have. Fulham, 90 minutes plus 5. And it's an own goal as well. God, it's gone down as an own goal. Welcome to the Premiership. Welcome to the Premiership. This is what I mean. It's hard to stay up. Salford are 3-1 up as well. They've just scored a third at Shrewsbury. Gary will be very happy. But, yeah, I mean, welcome to the Premiership. It's so relentless. So relentless. I won't lose any sleep over Leeds, to be fair. But, not a terrible start for Fulham. What did Fulham do? Fulham would have 5 points. Oh, yeah. I mean, unlucky. Their only loss was Chelsea, which was a bit wrong. Kevin says Marianakos. Sorry, Mark Autocorrect. Thank you very much, Kevin. Pat says, such a classic Leeds result. Dominate and then get unlucky and lose. Alessandro says, the first round of fixtures after an international break is always pretty turgid and a non-event. Yeah, because they lose the rhythm, don't they? 6 minutes added on at Newcastle. So at least we've got rid of one of the 0-0s. We've still got Everton, Villa and Crystal Palace, Sunderland 0-0. Wolves had a bit of chance there. Good defending. Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes just literally plays for free kicks, doesn't he? Knows exactly what he's doing. I feel for Wolves there. The ball's right in the corner and Bruno Guimaraes just basically just breathe on me. I'm going down. Anyway, I think Newcastle look like they've probably done enough here. It's a result. Leeds lose 1-0 to Fulham. Game over. Big result for Fulham. And to be fair to Fulham, they were robbed last week against, well, they were robbed before the international break by Chelsea. So sometimes what goes around comes around, doesn't it? Sometimes you get your bit of fortune the very next game week. Late equaliser for Bolton against Leyton Orient, 1-1. What do you think about Newcastle? They've done enough to win this game. But Vanch says Villa, boring, 0-0. Crystal Palace, 0-0 as well. Sunderland, that's a good point for Sunderland on the road. Everton, Villa, 0 as well. I think Martinez, by all accounts, was man of the match. Bournemouth and Brighton still going on, but Bournemouth could have 9 points from 12. And remember, same as Arsenal, actually, 9 points from 12, and their only drop points are Anfield. So very, very, very good start for Bournemouth. What's Villa's next game? Well, they'll be playing in Europe, and then they've got to go to Sunderland next Sunday. I'll tell you what, if Sunderland do them next Sunday, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you say. But no goals scored in 4 games is shocking, isn't it? It's really bad. Really, really bad. Thank you, Vanch, for your super chat. Thanks everyone who's tuned in today, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Still got a couple of minutes to go here, but I can't see Wolves scoring. Started the game well, but not really created anything in the second half. Cup of tea and biscuits. That's not a demand, I'm just singing it. If it was the demand, I'd put a please at the end. Next watch-along I'm going to do is Burnley-Liverpool tomorrow afternoon. And then we've got Champions League Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know what I'm doing on Tuesday yet, because I don't really want to do Arsenal at 5:45. And I think Spurs Villarreal is meh. I'm not doing the 5:30 now. Fucking God, no. Probably be a good game, though. And I'm definitely not doing Brentford-Chelsea. I can just see a Garnacho hat-trick. And Saturday night for me is do the 8 o'clock show on the United stand and then a film. And I'm not missing that. I'm not missing film night for Brentford-Chelsea, with all due respect. I mean, if Brentford can pull something off, great. Bournemouth have beaten Brighton 2-1. Well done. I think Spurs should beat West Ham as well. Famous last words. I'm making a mistake, Jims. I just hope I don't make a mistake when I'm cooking it. What does Timo Werner have for dinner on a Saturday night? A mistake. Wolves, not good enough. Nah, not enough quality in the final third again. Ref's going to blow. 1-0 to Newcastle. Voltemeda, debut goal, makes the difference for Newcastle. Their first win of the season. They're up and running. 5 points from 12. Up into the top half of the table. But just goes to show you, doesn't it? Like, Newcastle, all that Isak stuff didn't help themselves with that. And now they get a striker and they win the game. I think if they didn't have a striker, they'd have drawn that game. I hope it's an interesting derby tomorrow, says Banch. Yep, you can join us on the United Stand for that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Take care. Stay safe. I'll see you on the next one. We're back here tomorrow for Burnley against Liverpool. Enjoy your evening. I've got a quick match reaction I'm going to do for the Arsenal game, which is overdue. And I'm on the United Stand at 8. Take care. Speak to you in a bit.